What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dean, aka the Blue Crusader, and in today's video I'm going to be back again making your Minecraft mod ideas because I've had a lot of different requests to continue creating this series. So this is part 3 of I Make Your Minecraft Mods. You guys, when I asked you to, sent me in quite a lot of ideas of some really cool mobs, dimensions, biomes, and general ideas for cool mods for Minecraft. I read them all and took them into consideration, and after reading through the new ideas and the ideas of the older videos in the series, I've come to a couple of cool ideas which I decided to create in this video. As always, make sure to drop down your Minecraft ideas in the comments below if you want the chance for them to be featured and created in the next videos. Consider becoming a member on the channel if you like these style of videos where I make Minecraft mods and show you the whole process, because I'm considering making some more mod development live streams for members of the channel very soon. So let's jump into making some of your ideas. The first idea that I chose was one from Shark the Ghost in the comments, who said, make a flying pig with weird legs that shoots gas balls. I thought this was a pretty cool idea and it really reminded me of the flying pigs from the Aether mods dimension, so I decided to take this as the first challenge for the video. So this idea was fairly straightforward and simple because it just involved using the vanilla pig model, which I could easily just generate when I open Blockbench by using the CEM template loader plugin. This is a really nice little plugin that lets you load all of the default mobs models in Minecraft into Blockbench so you don't have to recreate them. So first what I went ahead and did was I recreated the pig model from vanilla Minecraft by loading it in with this plugin, and then I decided to use this as a base to build off of inside the editor. What I'd need to do for this mob was to add a few custom wings to it so it could actually fly, and then also get the original pig texture onto it too. Now the pig texture only supports the pig's body, it's not going to support the wings. I still don't know in Blockbench how to increase the size of a texture and then build upon that current texture, so I decided what to do was just to load the pig texture as a base and then kind of just work off of that from that point on. So I just used it as reference to get the basic colors because I decided to make my own skin on top of it and basically just recreate the pig. It wasn't going to have as much detail as the normal vanilla pig, but it was going to look good enough and it was going to look just like a pig. So I messed around for a while with a lot of trial and error, making textures which were just entirely too small, until I finally just copied the exact same size as the original pig texture. And then from here what I did is I referenced the Minecraft pig texture, copied the positions of where the eyes were, copied different colors around the nose and snout, and also around the legs and the nails, and then basically I just worked from there. Now one thing I decided to do is, instead of making golden wings like it was some kind of angel pig from the Aether, or making white wings, I decided just to make normal pink wings to make it actually look like the pig's wings were actually part of the animal and they look like fleshy growths coming out of the animal. I just thought this gave it a unique appearance, and then it made it so it didn't look too much like the pigs from the Aether. Now I also changed the pivot points. I copy and pasted the wings twice so that I could have wings which were kind of arched instead of just straight wings with one rectangle on each side, because I wanted to make them look more detailed. I added different pivot points to the middle of the wings so that they arched over, and also to the connecting sides of the pig's body. Now I made them arched by default up here, but as well as this, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to make the wings actually move when it flies. So they're going to be in this starting position, but then they're also going to swing so they look like more realistic wings. So what I went ahead and did is I saved the texture and the model as a 1.16 model for Forge, and then now we can go ahead and import it and build the model in mcreator. I'm going to assign all the right animations, and I assigned the leg swing animations for the Z axis onto the wings so they moved on the right axis and moved correctly, and then I went ahead and I made the pig entity. As you can see, we're just going to fill in the basics here. We already have all of the pig sounds by default in vanilla Minecraft, so we don't need to use custom sounds. We can use pink colors for the mob eggs, make it drop pork, give it a decent amount of health, not make it too strong, and also make it a flying entity. Now I'm not going to give it any custom particles. I'm going to give it a really basic mob AI base. I'm going to make it really rare to spawn in the mountains because that seems like a good spot to spawn it, and I'm going to give it a ranged item, which is the gas ball that it's going to fire at its attackers. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the two AI templates, the passive mob for flying and also the mob that attacks people who attack it first. So it's going to be a passive aggressive mob that will only attack players who hurt it first. So let's jump into the test world. As you can see, we have the Dream boss up here from one of my last videos when we created Dream in Minecraft as a boss. I'm using the exact same mod. You can go ahead and download download this mod in the description down below. This is a completely free mod, just with your guys' subscriber ideas. If you want to try out all these ideas, you can go ahead and test it out too. So as you can see, the pig's legs don't move. I guess the legs would probably classify as weird legs, like the original idea, because I didn't really connect them to the body very well. But you can see the wings move perfectly, and they have arched wings, which are kind of fleshy and look like they're part of the actual body itself. So I'm really happy with how this mob turned out. What would I change? Maybe make the legs move as well. But apart from that, it actually looks really cool. So let's go ahead, jump into survival mode and test some of the mechanics of the mob itself, because remember, this mob isn't fully passive. It's supposed to attack us when we actually attack it first. Now, the first time I tested out the mob, somehow I kind of dazed it because I used a slow falling potion on it, so it made its fly really slow, and it didn't really want to fight me back. This was like a really good pig. So I killed that pig and I spawned another one. And for some reason, this one was very toxic. He decided to start shooting me with the fireballs, but at least at this point, we knew that the gas fireballs on the flying pig actually worked. At first, he did a melee attack, and then he started shooting the fireballs. So I'd say we completed the first mob to specification pretty well. The next idea I decided to choose from the comments was this idea by this guy called Funny Moments A9, and he asked to create a mob which is a Russian man that will spawn and he drops a bottle. This guy was Russian, so it kind of gave me the real permission to actually create this idea, and I have quite a few people who are Russian who watch my videos, and they've always been nice people, so I thought this would be a kind of cool idea to do for them, and it also would be pretty funny. So the first step as usual was to create a mob, but this time instead of creating a model, the first thing which I did was create a player skin in Blockbench, because it actually supports custom player skins. Now, I deleted a few of the layers on the right hand side because there's different types of skins for Minecraft. There's the 1.8 plus skin, and there's also the pre 1.8 version of the skin which supports the old biped model, which mCreator uses primarily for mobs. So I decided to delete a few of the layers so that the skin would support the legacy model, and I decided to fill this in. So this character is going to be kind of loosely based off of all the Russian memes of the Russians that play CSGO, or the so-called squatting Slavs, who are kind of like a meme on the internet. So I decided to kind of copy this whole style and make the dude have an Adidas tracksuit with white stripes and basically just a jogging wear and some trainers. I thought this looked pretty cool. I had to make a custom skin. There wasn't really too much inspiration with this. I would say the skin turned out pretty well in the end, but it could have been a little bit better. I think the skin would have been better if I would have kept the hat layer on the player, so I could have drawn a better hat, because you can see at this stage I'm trying to draw one of those Russian winter hats with a fur on them, but it really doesn't look good at all. It looks like the guy's got old grey hair. This is why I tried to actually draw some brown hair under it so it looked like it was a hat, but since it's entirely 2D and covering the head, it really does not look like a hat. This is not how you should make a Minecraft skin, guys, so don't take any advice from this. I put some shades on the dude, I filled in some areas around the hat to make it look more like a hat, and I decided to export the skin and call it Rusky. Now, I would have a few problems with this skin at first. When I first decided to import it, you can see what I did is I first changed the skin size. I really can't remember the sizes, but you'll be able to see that on screen right now, and this was so I could use it on the old biped model. Now, at this stage, I also needed to make a bottle as an item that the guy would drop, basically just as the joke. So I got a bottle off Google Images and I resized it to fit in with the whole Minecraft size, so it looked a bit more pixelated. This just meant that I didn't have to draw the material from scratch, and then I just made a basic item called Empty Bottle, which really didn't tend to do anything. It was just basically just for show, for a vanity item for the Rusky dude to drop. I also made him an illager for some reason. Apparently Russians are illagers. I don't know why I did that, but I found that pretty funny looking back on it right now. And I also gave him the angry villager particle effects, and I made him so he'll only attack you when you fight him, but he will hit you with his bottle. So time for the first test. I was actually really disappointed the first time which I tested it, because even though I had the correct material or texture dimensions and sizes, it still didn't fit the model properly. The player looked great from the neck down, but when it came to the head, his head was just entirely covered with a face mask, so there was no face that I'd actually drawn on there, so I was going to need to make some changes to make it work properly. This was also a shame because he was also holding the bottle and basically just functioning exactly how I wanted him to. But if we wanted to make the skin work, we were going to have to create a brand new model to put the skin on, and that means we couldn't use the biped model from vanilla Minecraft, so the mob couldn't actually hold the bottle like he was supposed to. So this was not going to make the mob as good as I wanted it to, but it would actually fix the skin. So like I said, this was a really simple fix. I already had the skin created. I just decided to export the current model as Rusky and then re-import the skin at the original size, and then everything would hopefully function exactly how it should do. Now, the first time I tried this, I'd actually forgotten to import the old skin, and I still had the skin which I resized, which didn't fit on the new model. So, boom, here's the final test. I actually finally got it to work. Like I said, I am a little bit disappointed that the Rusky dude now is not holding the bottle anymore, but unfortunately that can't be changed. I think it's still actually really funny though that he just throws bottles at you. When you attack him, he just launches these bottles at your head, and he actually does quite a lot of damage. You're going to need a lot of armor if you want to fight this dude. I think I ended up coming back like 2 or 3 times after death just to actually finish him off. But I would say that this second mob we created also really fits the idea that was originally submitted really well. So anyone who submitted the ideas in this video, let me know in the comments down below if this is what you were thinking of. I really hope that I did your ideas justice. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like the video and subscribe, and I will see you next time.